How you guys doing? How's everything? Hope everything's going well. Um, I got word about how Boyce Watkins is trying to encourage black men to, date single mothers. And I don't know what it is, man. I mean, he's a financial advisor, and he can't tell that it's such a risk to date a single mom. I mean, divorce, child support, alimony. You don't think that's a problem, bro? Okay. Well, here I got like Meechie X blasting, Boyce Watkins, and I mean, I've seen it before. I mean, a couple of months ago, I think a year ago, and she was saying about some stuff about Boyce Watkins that I kind of found out about. Okay, that he's not who he claims to be. All right, dude's a thief, and he's also a simp. I mean, you want to go after a woman that can actually take you for all you've got. And she didn't really pay attention to when she was in her prime. Okay. But more on that later. Let's go into what this savage roaster is about to say about him. Let's get into it. Let's just get into it.
Their lack of integrity. They don't have any character. They're all fucking liars. All the fuck they do is cap the Watkins, and a lot of these activists in the community are like a thorn in my fucking side because I can't stand their lack of integrity. They don't have any character. They're all fucking liars. All the fuck they do is capitalize on fucking over black people. But they give you this scenario that they're for black people so much in the forefront. And I'm here to tell you that they're not. And a lot of people come over here, and there may be some Dr. Watkins people in the chat, or some of y'all too grown for this pettiness. Well, fuck you and take your grown ass business as your bedtime, okay? But at the end of the day, y'all act like it's not an important conversation. There'll be some people that will say, oh, well, why? And I get tired of those folks, too, because you watch motherfuckers from YouTube. A lot of y'all watch me. You don't know me. You watch me, right? Y'all don't know me. Some of y'all know me because you interacted with me, and you may have had my classes. You may know a little bit more about Meechie. Some of y'all may be in the streets. Some of y'all actually have talked to on the phone. Some of y'all, we built some relationships, and we still deal with each other, right? So, I mean, it's a variation of it, but y'all don't know these motherfucking people on YouTube, including me, okay? So every time somebody comes forward that do know these people, and they start to talk about the shit that's been done, I am so tired of you black people that do this saying, oh, we should just not talk about this. This is division. Fuck you. I want you to know Meechie. If she's petty for you, I need you to leave because this is never going to stop from my perspective. As long as there is a shiesty individual in this motherfucker who are playing y'all but want to come with this self-righteous shit, it reminds me of like Christian people. Just like Vicky fake ass, right? That on the forefront they say what the fuck they think you want to hear. They say what needs to be said. They sound real good. But behind closed doors, they follow none of that shit. They ain't heeded. These niggas is the pastors preaching no fornication and adultery, and he gets fucking 3 of the goddamn usher board bitches in the church. But you will say, and this is a true story, like y'all do this shit in the church for real. Like let's go to the real church story. Your pastor is in a hotel room caught with strippers, snorting cocaine off their ass. But he telling you every Sunday it's all good. And y'all sit a motherfucker down for a moment and be like, oh, well, I'm going to continue. Like, oh, the Lord, he's come to my house and he's prayed with me. I'll never forget that time he helped me and my son. He helped us through difficult times. The church paid our light bill one time. If it wasn't for pastor full of shit, I wouldn't this man do when you ain't fucking addressed the bullshit y'all know that this man be doing. Y'all notice how many receipts have come out? How much shit do y'all know about Dr. Watkins by now at this point? So Kwame is gone the fuck off on him, and it is very much deserved. And I hope Kwame go off on him again because Dr. Watkins responded with some little smart ass shit. So let's talk about that, right? If y'all don't know. Oh yeah, somebody said to my phone, I got a little bit in the chat, right? They ain't showing it on here, but yes, Dr. Watkins is definitely, he is definitely an intellectual property thief. He does a lot of things. Yes, he does rape people for their intellectual property. He takes people ideas. He's not the only one that does that. Vicky does that same shit. He owes people and he doesn't pay them money. You know how many people I know, and no offense to the people that I know, but it seems like to me he takes people that he thinks are in really bad, desperate situations, and for all the black women he claims that he loves, he goes and get black women that he thinks are on a lower level that he can take advantage of. I know a brother or two that actually work, and I use the word work lightly because he doesn't pay them. Okay, he does not fucking pay them, and these brothers work for him too. But I will tell you too, these brothers are broke as fuck. These brothers are trying to find some type of attention or something. The type of attention that they can get from his platform to maybe get in a position where they could make some money, but they be doing so much work behind the fucking scenes that his shit wouldn't run without these people, and this motherfucker don't be goddamn giving nobody no money. This is what he does. And then the people who he think is somebody, and he think he can get some clout from them, those are the people that he tends to pay for, okay? Vicky Dillon tonight used the word, yes, bitch, I watched the live. See, a lot of you motherfuckers would be like, well, somebody heard and told me, bitch. No, I came to watch the live because I watched the title. And I watched how Dr. Watkins tried to say some shit. And when I saw the video what he said about Kwame, I already knew what he was doing because I know this fucking shiesty ass nigga. And then I watched Kwame go off on him, and then I watched yo bitch ass Vicky go ahead and give this title. So I watched it, right? And it was just so funny how this motherfucker sat in here for 20 minutes trying to defend why she's even doing this, right? She sits here and talks about everybody else, but she would not come after fucking Dr. Watkins, right? And I'm gonna tell you what her excuse was, but we'll get there in a minute, right? So this is the thing. He doesn't get to continue to do this, and you don't get to continue to come in my comment section for anybody who does that, or for anybody else that says something about it and say you're divisive and you need to not talk about these things because you make us look bad. I'm gonna tell you, fuck you, because actually you are the problem that we don't have any unity. You people who say that are the very reason.
This is actually a problem because most of the things that happen in the black community, they don't want to address because they want to be cool, they want to be down. They're making money somehow from this man. And the issues with Umar Johnson, the issues with many things in the black community, you want to keep together no matter what, no matter if you have toxic people within your ranks that are going to embarrass you and kill any type of positive goals that you have for the black community to come out of any mess that they are in. And you want to shame people like Meechie X and many others who are trying to do right and to do well for the black community.
Because what you're initially telling me, this is what you're really telling me, is that you don't give a fuck about how he treats people as long as it's done in the dark and it's not coming to the light. How the fuck are you about black people? How the fuck are you pro-black? How the fuck are you for this fight and for the movement? But when you hear the same niggas who call sisters queens will tell me to shut the fuck up, but this nigga is taking advantage of black women and he has done so for many years. When a nigga gonna stop him? This nigga right here? Because I'm not done with Dr. Watkins by far. I've gotten quiet. I haven't said much about this nigga, but trust me, it ain't over. This nigga owes me, and he gonna give me everything he owe me. He gonna give me 100-fold, like the Bible says. But bitch, I'm not waiting on God to give me my 100-fold because I am karma. I'm gonna make this nigga. I just do. Just hold on a little bit longer. Like I pray a little while longer in church. Just hold on a little while longer, cause I got something for all they asses over there at Fly Nubian Queen in Yo Black World and every motherfucker in the platform that he got. I got something for their ass, okay? So y'all just wait in anticipation for what the fuck I have for them. But you don't get to do me like you do me and think you gonna walk around with your fat ass neck, sometimes it's fat, sometimes it's skinny, and you go up and down. You gonna go get new teeth. You out here talk about, oh, you married, living this great life, like you somebody who makes so much money, but nigga, you don't pay your employees ever the fuck. Yeah, the whole operation he run, that's like slavery. Let me think about this for a moment. See, Kwame didn't know all of this bitch is off. The bitch is off. She is. And she is bottom bitch, and she come for everybody too. She just does it in this, oh, I'm a churchy, nice person way. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. Mark my words. I used to drive down the street and pick that bitch up at the bus stop and ask her if she needed a ride. I wish today I would drive past her and catch her at the bus stop. That would get a little different today. I give no fuck that she's 65 pounds. I give no fuck that the bitch is sickly, because at the end of the day, for everybody who keeps saying she's a sick woman, and it's unfair for you to talk about her like that, for all of you Christian people, you know, the Bible did say that when you're a bitch, not really in those words, but when you're a bitch and God will get struck in with sickness. Hope. I don't say it exactly like that.
No.
Going in on Boyce Watkins.
Yeah, basically it's you know, this is a woman you don't play with, okay? And honestly, I've known about this a couple of years ago, actually, about how Boyce Watkins basically stole money from this woman, Meechie X. And that's why she's mad about Boyce Watkins. Now, let's go into the video of him trying to have tips about dating single mothers, which is a I don't get it. I don't get it. How you do not see that this is a bad idea. I don't get it. I mean, you're a financial advisor. You should know that with relationships, especially if children are involved, courts could definitely come into the picture. I don't get that about him. I really don't. But let's go.
Right? And, you know, if you got big money, then maybe it shifts. But if you got 2, 3, and this is really a tip for the ladies, like, you know, when you date a man that's got children with women, especially multiple women, just know you're not getting a whole man. You're getting what Tiny, T.I.'s wife, calls a piece of man. You're getting a piece of man. You're not getting a whole man. So a lot of y'all out here, you know, talking shit about single mothers, you need to realize if you out here and you making babies with all kinds of women, then you might not be the catch of the week either. I know you might think you're the catch of the week because you got that 30.
Okay, so basically, it makes sense. If you think that way, Mr. Watkins, doesn't it make sense for single parents to date single parents since the one side knows how the other side lives? Don't you think it's better to say that? Then trying to say that the fact of, oh, with single mothers, you don't get that much time. And then you get to say, Mr. Watkins, I'm saying like, because the video is like, why real men avoid single mothers? Okay. And he's trying to debunk that. And one of the things that the man said is that single mothers don't have that much time for you. And he's trying to say that's not true. No, that is true, because the kids come first. If the man wants to come over and have a date with the woman, that woman has to find a babysitter before that man could actually have time with that woman. A babysitter must be involved in that relationship. It has to be some sort of triangle in order for that man to have some time with that single mother. The babysitter is the middleman. That is true, Mr. Watkins. That is true. You don't get to have much time with a single mother because the kids come first.
$3 an hour job at UPS, but get the fuck out of here with that silly shit. That's ridiculous. So never available. That's not true. A person is available as much as they want to be. Just being realistic about dating. One thing I will say, just
if they don't have the time to meet up that day, then they don't have the time to meet up that day. If she doesn't have a babysitter, then that dude is gonna have to wait till she gets one. Come on, bro. Come on. No, this is why Boyce Watkins is a laughing stock, because he's giving bad advice for men when it comes to relationships. Again, you're a financial advisor. You know money is the fulcrum of a relationship, and let alone, and you know, trying to date a single mother, that can be a bad investment for a man who doesn't have kids. You know this. You're a financial advisor. You know the laws don't always work in a man's favor if this man decides to have a kid with this single mother. There's even laws now if a man is in a relationship with a woman and she's a single mother and they break up, that single mother could hit that man with child support. It's not even his kids.
From my perspective, I'm not an expert. This is Uncle Boyce talking, so I hope I have permission to share an Uncle Boyce perspective on this. I have
if you don't have the knowledge on the expertise on the subject, should you be talking about it, Mr. Watkins? This is why Jab clowned you. This is why a lot of people are clowning you.
Found actually that when you're dating like professionals, you know, people that are doctors and lawyers, you got to be careful about that. Like if you're that high flying, and this is really a tip for everybody, but I'm thinking about this as a man who's only dated women, because I don't date, you know, I date women, that's it. If a person is super busy, if a person has a career that takes up a lot of their time, like if they're a lawyer, even if they're making a lot of money, or a doctor and they're always at the hospital, your relationship will probably suffer because relationships require investment. If you don't have time to invest in your relationship, then it's not going to work. Now, in terms of motherhood, what I have seen, being keeping it 100, is I've seen what I call motheraholics. A motheraholic, to me, is someone who says that my children are always they are not just the top priority, they are the only priority, and everything else takes a backseat no matter what.
Okay, it has to be that way, because if they're the single mother and they're the custodial parent, they have the kid 90% of the time, Mr. Watkins. So yeah, the kids have to be a priority, because if anything happens on her watch with those kids, it's her fault.
I cannot give this man any priority in my life whatsoever. I think that's wrong. I think that your relationship is going to go bad. I think that men have some element of respect. You have to let the man know that, you know, look, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, we prioritize you. You know what? The kids got their time. Now this is your time, right? If you can't do that and form that balance, then I think you're going to have some problems in your relationship, right? So that whole thing about never available, I've seen women without children who were never available, maybe because she was a doctor and at the hospital all the time, or in medical school or law school or whatever.
That's different. If she's doing that, then her priority, of course, her priority is her education. She's not a single mother. Education does not have limbs, a heart, a brain, a personality, and is young and has to be fed. Unlike a single mother, that, you know, education, you could choose whether to pursue it or not. But when you're a single parent, that kid is there regardless if you want that kid there in your life or not. It has to be tutored to, it has to be mentored, it has to be fed, it has to be clothed, and it has to be taken care of.
And then I've seen women with children who were never available, maybe because they did the motheraholic thing. But then same thing is true with men. A lot of us as men, you know, when you choose to, you know, give a woman your time, you have to follow through on that. You're going to have to move something else out of the way. When I was in graduate school and working on my PhD, I didn't have time for nothing. You know, I remember I met a real nice black lady when I was about 20. Well, I never dated anything other than black women. And I met a real nice lady when I was about maybe 29. And I remember I felt so bad because she was really pretty. And I just didn't call her because I kept saying, oh, I'm going to call her today. I'm going to call her today. And I kept forgetting. And then I look back on that, and it's because I just didn't have the time. So availability is just important. Availability is a reflection of priority. If somebody ever tells you that they're not able to talk to you or they just don't have time, that's a damn lie. That means they don't like you that much, because people make time for the things that matter to them. And if you do allegedly matter to them and they don't have time for you, then that tells you that the person is not mature enough to know how to prioritize the things that matter and actually follow through their words with action. So that.
Okay, Mr. Watkins. These people, when they have kids, it's a lot. Okay, this is why having this type of schedule, again, doesn't make sense for a single parent to date somebody who's not a parent. Or is it better to have a single parent date somebody who's also a single parent, because they can understand these time crunches and these micromanaging, trying to have time to fit in a significant other. And you're trying to have men who don't have kids to date women who have kids. You want men to who don't know what it's like to be a single parent, to hook up with a single parent, and not knowing how the other half lives, and don't understand because they don't experience that. You want these men to invest in an already made family when they should be being with other single individuals without kids, which makes perfect sense instead of what you're talking about.
Also is a red flag, male or female. Next, number 2, you're not a priority. That's not true. A mature woman will let you know that you're a priority. Kids are not. You know, like I said, I'm marrying a woman that's got children. She consistently reminds me that I'm a priority. She consistently reminds me.
Here's the problem with that. You're marrying a woman who has children, and those kids could disrespect, and you got to go over there and get the mother to check them, yet you can't check them. You're not being honest with yourself. You're being very disingenuous right now. You're not being honest about what a man goes through dating a single parent. You're not honest, Mr. Watkins. You can't discipline the kids because they're not yours. This is what men go through when they date a single mother who don't have kids of their own. She basically at times runs the relationship, and you can't discipline kids who disrespect you because you're not their father. This opens a whole can of issues that most men don't want to deal with, and this is why they say no to single mothers.
That I have authority. That was very important for me. If I did not have authority and did not have priority, I probably will choose not to be here, right? We all choose what we prioritize. So I think that just on behalf of single parents, male or female, just don't believe that. That's stupid. No, you know, it's all about quality of character and content of your character. 3, thinks the world revolves around her and her only. That's what he put on this list of why real men avoid single mothers. I don't know where the fuck he got this from. He sounds traumatized. He sounds like he done been through some shit. I ain't gonna lie. I want to investigate. I want to do an investigation. First, tell me about your mama. Was your mama a crack hole? Like what happened with your mama that made?
Okay, this man wants to be an idiot. He can tell with common sense that these men have had bad experience, and that's why they say don't date single mothers. Instead, you want to shame this man and talk about extremes about was your mother a crackhead? No, it could be the fact that he just don't want to date a single mother because of his past experiences. And you want to shame this man to keep your single mother audience happy. They know the truth. They probably wouldn't want their sons dating a single mother because they know how they act. It takes one to know one.
That makes you have this vile attitude toward black women. But then 2, what happened in your previous relationships? You know, maybe he was a victim of parental alienation. That happens a lot. People don't talk about this. They don't talk about how many fathers are out here that really want to see their kids and can't see their kids. So he might just be pissed off because that whole thing about,
again, going way outfield instead of dealing with the problem at hand. Maybe he had issues with a single mother. Maybe, you know, this man has legitimate points of why he's saying what he says. Instead, you want to shame this man.
About the things the world revolves around her and her only. There's an accountability piece to that. You know, there are millions and millions and millions of black women that you could be dating. And if all the women that you dated have been these self-centered bitches, well, that says that you like self-centered bitches. That means you're picking women of low quality. You know, that means you're passing up the nice girl and going for the big.
Okay, so what about the low quality of you picking a woman that in the picture, you know, she looks as if, you know, she's married to Willie D instead of you. How about that? I know some of you see that picture of Boyce Watkins. All right. And the fact that if you look at the picture of his wife, she is more closely hugging. She's more closely hugging Willie D than she is Boyce Watkins. He don't see a problem with that. He's just giggling and think that's okay. That's okay. A single mother, your wife is supposed to do that, right? That's okay. I'm just saying. I mean, there's no. This man is oblivious to how she's acting towards him, and it's going to be sad, you know, if you know, if she ends up doing something with Willie D. Of course, a lot of black men who got YouTube channels are going to have a 4th of July cookout on Boyce Watkins' ass because he is going to be a bigger butt of a joke than he is now. You talk about cyberbullying, it's never going to end. It's going to be memes for days. You better hope this marriage works out. He really does. He better hope it does. Okay? Because this right here is just it's a joke. It's a pretty much a bad joke, a really, really bad joke. I'll just stop over here for a second. Let me just show this right here. All right, let me show it right here. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. See this picture right here? I mean, come on, man. Just come on. Come on. All right. It's just sad. It just really is. I mean, look at that face. Look at this face. Look at this. I'm sorry. This is some I'm saying she cheats on this man. It is going to be a field day. People are going to have a field day. Minister Jap is going to have a field day. You better hope this works out because a lot of people on YouTube are not going to have any mercy on you. They will not. They will clown you for days. It will be memes for days. Memes. You saw what they did to Derek Jackson. You saw it. Funny and brutal at the same time.
But the smile, which is putting you in situations where you think, well, all women do this and all women do that. Well, no, your women did this and your women did that. So that's kind of silly. 4, emotionally unavailable. I don't know where that comes from.
Silly, but you have men with similar stories posting it online. Okay.
A person is emotionally available. Having children and not having children has nothing to do with any of that. In fact, I'm not even really here to say that dating a single mother is a better choice than dating a woman without children. I've seen good situations in both categories. I've seen bad situations in both categories.
Having children can sometimes change a woman. It can change a woman due to the hormones, what happened in that pregnancy. It can change a woman. This is how to tell this man has to just go back to talking about Bitcoin, talk about investments. Do not talk about women. Just don't.
One thing I can say is that for women that use it the right ways, there's something about having a child that can make a woman more mature and more settled, right? So, don't get me wrong. You do have the single mom that'll be up in the club still acting a fool. But a lot of times I've noticed that the mother has a little bit of a nurturing ability that's kind of pulled out of her because she's got to nurture this child. There's also a responsibility element that can come out because you got to take care of this little human being every single day. So it doesn't mean it applies in all cases because it's hard to have a one-size-fits-all kind of discussion about this, but that's what I've seen, right? But also I would say when you talk about women without children, I think the freedom, or the freedom is the freedom, right? The benefit might be that, it's a person that you can pop up and just go on a trip with or whatever. And I can tell you, just not telling on myself, but, my previous relationship before the one that I'm in now, I did date a woman who didn't have children, who was single. And the cool part was I'd be like, hey, let's go to California today. And she'd be like, okay, and we could go. And it was great. And when you have family, you're more settled. So it's not so much that it's better or worse. It's just that it's different, right? And in order to be in a different...
It is, but oh gosh. These situations could go wrong. As I said before, okay, there's a law now that if a woman spends enough time with a man as her boyfriend, not really the kid's father, they break up. That woman can sue that man for child support, can get that man on child support, not sue, but file him as a father, a parental figure, and get child support out that dude. There is a risk, and he's not talking about it. And this is why I don't understand. You're a financial advisor. You know the laws about how things work with marriage and divorces and how things could go south for men if they get the wrong woman.
Situation, I had to be in a different mentality. I had to be in a mindset where I said, okay, I'm going to lose a little bit of this, but I'm gaining a little bit of that. Because here's the other thing, too. There's something really fulfilling about a man when he's able to be a benefit to the lives of others, right? And I would encourage you, ladies, when you're looking at a man and judging, in my view, you want to look, if a man takes pride in being helpful to others, to me, that's a good man. Right? If a man is just all about himself and me and mine, and I'm gonna get mine, and girl, you better do what I tell. That's an asshole. Like, why would you want to be with somebody like? So in the whole debate with Future versus Russell Wilson, I think about that debate sometimes because I'm like, who the fuck would want to date a Future? What kind of? I mean, only a complete idiot would. I mean, this man tells you that he ain't shit. Like he literally tells you. What's it? At the same time.
Okay, so you say that, but Mr. Boyce Watkins not understanding that majority of black culture is hood, and they would date a Future. Okay, put Russell Wilson and Future together, and take away the financial status. You see who black women will date. You'll see who they will date. Not all of them, but the woke progressive ones, the hood rat ones, they're gonna take Future. Okay, I don't get how he don't understand this when he's been curved by the very woman that he's marrying right now. You should understand this. She went out there and had all her fun and then want to come back to you. And this does not ring any bells with Mr. Watkins.
Time booking two bad bitches at the same damn time. Talking about getting high all the time. Molly Percocet. So he's basically telling you he's a.
So you're the woman that you're marrying that was in college that was curbing you. You telling me she wasn't sleeping with those type of dudes like Future? And then she comes back to you? All right. Again, this guy is just totally oblivious to what he's done, totally oblivious to the nature of black women of the black culture. I'm not saying all black women, but the black women of the black culture, they're going to sleep with Future. They don't see a future with Russell until later on in life. Just like Ciara. She got banged out by 50 Cent, got banged out by Bow Wow, then got banged out by Future, didn't want to settle with Russell Wilson. I don't think you can't see that because you're not putting the woman that you're marrying now in that same light. She got banged out by all the dudes in college, but she didn't bang you. She left you for last. Come back, divorced. Okay.
He's a drug addict with a lot of STDs who don't give a shit about you. And for some reason, and this is where women need the therapy, right? Because some of y'all grow up thinking that.
Doesn't the woman that you've married come from the same similar background? Not with the STDs, but she got banged out by other men and then came back to you?
These are good men. These are not quality men. You might be attracted to the masculinity. You might be attracted.
The woman that you're married now was attracted to men with that type of toxic behavior. Got a whole bunch of dudes that were toxic that got up in her guts. And then she gave up her guts to you. You're not this is going over his head. I don't understand. Okay.
To the bravado and to the confidence, and God bless you for that. I get that, right? I've read books, literally. I was so fascinated by human attraction. I've read entire books about what makes one human being attracted to the other. I get it. You like the confidence, you like all of that swag, but goddamn it, that swag, there's another side to that swag that ain't pretty. There's another side to that masculinity that can be very toxic, very frightening. And so to me, again, this is my bias, but the benefit of a Russell Wilson is, Russell ain't no punk. I mean, seriously, Russell Wilson can do things physically that Future will never be able to do. Russell Wilson every day takes snaps behind the center and has 5 men that are 300 pounds that run the 40-yard dash in 4.7 seconds or less who are coming to knock his head off. And they're all taking steroids. So they're trying to literally, kill him. And he confronts that every single snap and does a great job. He's one of the best in the world at it. The man's going to make $1 billion by the time he's done. Ain't nothing about.
I think it's this. Why are people why isn't the black community, instead of looking up to Russell Wilson and Sierra, why don't you look up to, because the majority of the black community is hood culture, why not just look up to people like Papoose and Remy Ma? Papoose and Remy Ma been through so much. Papoose stood by Remy Ma when she was serving an 8-year sentence for something that was completely her fault. And they got married, and they're living good. That's a committed, solid marriage. Is the black community looking to Russell Wilson and Sierra? Sorry, it's just black community doesn't really value, the stock of Russell Wilson. Doesn't value him. But you do value thug black culture. Why not value a long, strong marriage that faced the trials and tribulation and they overcame it and now they're happy? Why not look at Remy Ma and Papoose? Okay? And that's something that's more of a solid marriage. All right, let's keep going.
Now Russell Wilson that says he's some sort of simp. The only thing that's happening there is he's doing something that any real man will do, in my view, which is
the reason why they call Russell Wilson a simp is because he's a man that shouldn't be dating somebody of low class like Sierra. See, I just said Sierra got banged up by 50. She's been an industry thought. And you tell me a man has a high caliber, okay, you're going to go with a woman that's been basically a pass-around industry girl. That's what it is. That's the problem. And that's what makes Russell Wilson kind of a joke of the internet. You could have had any woman with a little bit more of a better reputation, yet you chose somebody with a terrible reputation. It's kind of like that computer guy who knocked up Superhead. Great job in computer science, and you knock up the town bicycle. That's the problem.
To say, you know what, I know when to be a soldier, and I know when to be compassionate. I know when to be hard, and I know when to be soft. I know when to be the killer, and I know when to be the protector and the provider, right? And you contrast that to the fact that Future recently threatened to kill, or I think he threatened to beat the shit out of one of his baby's mamas in front of her son. That's not what a man does. Like, men don't act like that. And if you think that men behave that way, then you need to go back and kind of realize that this is a direct reflection.
But Sierra chose that type of dude. I agree with that point that Boyce is making, but at the same time, you're choosing a woman that also liked those type of dudes in college. So I don't know what to tell you, but really not making any sense. I'm not even going to go any further because this man is very hard to listen to. I just don't take him seriously. Maybe when he talks about Bitcoin again, I'll take him seriously. Even then, I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. Could be a scam. But anyway, this is what I'm going to leave it as this for right now. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of Boyce Watkins. Do you think he's a simp? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Later.